Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advance Wars by Web, bringing you another live league game of the day. Today, we are back on site because I liked the way that it went yesterday, actually. So, we're going to try it again today and see how it goes. So today we are on Unicycle Driver. This is a standard matchup with a triple base airport comm tower support. Double comm towers if you can actually manage to get the top corners. So very, very cool stuff indeed, folks. We were joined by Darthnoob7, one of the top live players on Advance Wars by Web, and Pdawg954, a person that I have fought many times over my tenure here in the live league. So we should have a very interesting matchup here today. Now, we have gone with an Andy mirror. So Andy as a day-to-day ability will have nothing, but he does have access to his co-power and his super co-power, which will heal him by 2 HP globally for his power. And the super co-power will heal him by 5 HP, give him a +1 movement and a small firepower bonus, boosting his unit's firepower up to 120%. So Andy, jack of all trades, folks. Average Andy, the all-round easy pick in Advance Wars. So we got a cool one here today, folks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down on the live league today. Alrighty, folks. You guys know the deal. Standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field, folks. Number 1 priority in Advance Wars by Web. Number 2 priority in Advance Wars by Web, but when we are dealing with Andy, you make sure to yeet your units so that you get maximum hyper upgrade value. That's what you got to do, folks. Yeet and get all that delicious value. So it looks like Darthnoob is making a play towards the center of the map at the moment. Now, it doesn't really look like he's going full center, but he's got 1 infantry in position to either go for this property here or skip the property, go here, or go down here and then start capping this property down here, or go right here and then maybe try to jump over to this property here. So you never know. You never know what the Darthnoob7 is going to be up to. All you can know is it might involve the move planner and it might be dangerous. So you got to be watching out for that one, folks. Pdawg954. No slouch when it comes to the live league, folks, you know. He may say that he doesn't know what he's doing, but I feel like he knows what he's doing. At least to some extent. Now, it looks like Darthnoob7 is making a pretty nice play here. He's actually capping the city that's right beside the HQ. So that's going to make it so Pdawg is not going to be able to have too many options with his infantry. Now, he can go and cap this property and he can cap this property, but if Darthnoob decides to jump on the HQ, he's going to have to at least forego one of those captures in order to stop the HQ cap. So I don't think Darthnoob7 is going to go jump on that HQ. Pdawg is also in the exact same spot, mirrored on the map. They virtually have mirrored tank builds at the moment too. I think that's a good position to get your tank out. Very quickly reinforces the middle and doesn't actually slow down the captures of these corners a lot. So all in all, I think that's a fairly nice place to build your tank. Triple infantry build over here on day 6. And Pdawg, what's he gonna do? We're gonna triple cap properties, quadruple cap properties, moving that income all the way up to 1300. And are we gonna get one more cap? We're gonna get one more cap. Ah, beautiful. Kept us waiting until the very end, folks. Kept us waiting. Now we have a whole slew of gray sky units. That is a lot of gray sky units. Now, once Darthnoob finishes turn here, his units are going to look very nice. I can see a very nice sort of symmetrical line coming in here, so hopefully we're going to be seeing it. Oh, and we have a tank strike, folks. Boom! Tank goes in. Infantry goes in, KOing an infantry already on day 7, folks. That is fairly big. That is a fairly large attack, folks. I think that's virtually uncontested as well. Tank can't reach, other tank can't reach, but, I mean, tank could potentially go and strike the infantry. Now, is that worth it? Some people might say yes, some people might say no. It really just depends on the situation, folks. That's what it all comes down to, the situation. Is this the sort of situation where yeeting a tank is valuable enough? We're about to find out, folks, because that tank is getting yeeted. Boom! There we go. Infantry all the way down to 3 HP. Now, this tank will be struck back from fairly heavy terrain on a road. So the counterattack is going to be pretty big. Pretty big first strike involved with this one here. But we got it backed up with a tank, and we got 2 more tanks on the way, and we're going to have the comm tower next turn. Darthnoob7 does not have the comm tower, so when he takes this strike, he's going to be base firepower damage, or base firepower damage. Okay. But either way, it's going to be a very big hit. Very big hit indeed. Alright, there we go. We're going to take the hit. Oh, 5-8. You know, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought for sure it was going to do at least 6, but you know, maybe that's comm tower roll stuff. I think the base damage is somewhere around like 55, so maybe it's just a low roll. I think it go up to like 55 to like 60-ish, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. Let's... Oops. That's not the right button. Let's check it out. Because the one thing that's very nice about doing this on site is we do have access to the good old-fashioned damage calculator. So let's click on a tank, let's click 10 HP, and let's click on another Andy tank, and let's put it on a road. As we can see here, folks, 55 to 64% damage is what we are dealing with that sort of an attack. So that was definitely a low roll. So Pdawg, I think, got a little bit lucky with that one. Oh, all right. So I think we're here. Maybe we're not. So he went up and he took the attack. And then we move in. Got a few more tanks in position. Another double tank turn over here, folks. Double tank turn. And Darthnoob moves his infantry onto the forest to avoid being struck by a tank and then another tank. So very good positioning over here. So what is the Pdawg going to do in this sort of a situation? He's got himself a little bit of a pickle here, getting first struck there. So we're going to see. We're going to see. The one cool thing right now, though, is Pdawg. He's about to cap his second comm tower. So his Andy units are going to be 120% firepower, folks. Those are going to be some strong Andy units. Strong Andy units indeed. So let's see what happens with that. Now, it looks like Pdawg is positioning himself to actually deny the capture of the comm tower over in the corner. So that is going to leave Darthnoob at a little bit of a deficit when it comes to the old firepower, folks. He's going to be only 110% firepower versus Pdawg's 120% firepower. So will that give him the edge overall? I would say it's a very good spot to be in. Because having 120% firepower, as we know, gives you the guaranteed KO on a city, on 3-star terrain. But we're going to see what happens here. So we go up and we interrupt a capture with the injured tank. 8 HP versus full HP infantry. Easy 40% damage. Moves another tank in position, plus 2 more potentially in position over here. We have a tank right there, a tank right there, and a tank right here, and a tank right there. We've got lots of tanks, and one tank going south right now in order to maybe protect this infantry. I mean, you never know. You never know. It could happen. It's in a great spot to protect it. Even if he decides to go down and forego the cap and go for the comm tower, if tank moves into interrupt, tank does get first struck, but then he's met with all these tanks, so kind of a fool's errand to go for that comm tower at the moment. Building the battlecopter, though, I think is a pretty solid idea. I mean, you already got a bunch of tanks on the field, and you know that you're actually technically ahead in the tank game because you took that 5-8 engagement already. So, building out the battlecopter at this point, I think it's a fairly good idea, folks. Fairly good idea indeedio. But Pdawg, 14,600 funds in the bank, caps the second comm tower and another property, bringing his total income up to 17,000 income per turn, as well as Darthnoob7. Darthnoob7 has 17,000 income. So we got the money, folks. We got the money. Got that money for that classy boy if we decide to go down that road. But whether or not these players are going to go down that road on this map, that is a entirely different discussion altogether. Is it worth it to go down the classy route this early on a map where you don't really have a lot of income? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out, folks. But it is day 10. Day 10 already, folks. Darthnoob's got a bar charge. Pdawg's got a bar charge. You know, we're approaching hyper repair territory here pretty soon. Pdawg goes up and takes a huge engagement on that 8 HP tank, taking it all the way down to 1. So that is a nice engagement. Nice engagement overall. Now, I think it's like pretty good. You know, I think it's pretty good. There is a little bit of an unfortunate thing that could happen because we could move this tank onto this property right here. Ooh, you know what? We can't do that. We can't do that. You know, we'd have to move this tank. If we wanted to break this infantry, we would have to move this tank. And then we would have to move in with infantry. And we'd have to run this tank away. And then we could move in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Couldn't run in with this tank. We could run in with this tank. We could run in and take a shot over here. But once again, whether that's worth it or not, it's an entirely different story, folks. Let's see what these guys decide to do. Let's see what Darthnoob decides to do in this situation. It goes up and strikes an infantry. Is that a mountain? That is a mountain that he struck that infantry from. 6-7 engagement. Pretty massive, folks. Pretty massive. Brings a tank back to get some heals. And he goes for the engagement. So he doesn't go the breaking of the infantry route, which I guess is fine. You know, I guess you don't really want to bring that much stuff forward. We don't want to be yeeting that hard over here, folks. Mild yeeting is where we want to be. So we snipe out an infantry. Very nice. Go up and threaten a capture on one of Pdawg's properties. Parks the tank directly on the HQ. That is 40% defense on that guy right there. So that's pretty good. And brings the rest of his units forward. Brings another tank forward. Builds 2 more tanks and an infantry this turn. Copter's in a pretty... Copter's not really in a place where it can assist right away. But it is going to be able to put a threat on the center. Or put a threat on this corner here pretty soon. So don't mind the position of the old battlecopter boy over here. Pdawg is slightly lower on the units at the moment here. But his overall value is essentially the same. So I would say that he's still in a pretty good spot altogether here. We go up and we take an engagement on the infantry that is attempting to capture our property. We're not going to let that happen, folks. Pdawg, he likes his properties. He's not going to just sit idly by and just allow somebody to take his properties. No siree, Bob. That is not the Pdawg way. The Pdawg's way is to yeet all the units and stop those captures. We are not going to be letting those captures go through, folks. Absolutely not. Alright, cool. Nice little position here by these units. So because Darthnoob has not captured the comm tower, he will not be able to guarantee a KO on this property. Now, there is about a 33% chance, about 33%, that 2 tanks can clear this, but it's very low percent, you know, like 1 in 3. Not really worth it to go for it. I mean, you could go for it if you feel like it's worth it, but debatable. You know, very debatable. Considering that you only have 2 tanks over here, so you take this tank down to 1, you have a 9 HP tank right here, you're gonna have a 7 HP tank right here. You're just gonna be counterattacked with 2. I mean, Darthnoob could bring these tanks forward, which would be pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know. It's looking a little iffy, though. Looking pretty iffy here. The one thing that is interesting about Pdawg's units here is Pdawg's units are actually kind of split in the middle here. So if Darthnoob decides to, let's say, for example, send all his units down here, he could potentially just win this corner, block off his tanks with infantry, and then just be ahead by, like, a tank, maybe a whole tank. I guess he can't get the second tank down there. He would be able to maybe take out 1 tank, but that's about it. Yeah. You know, I think overall, Pdawg's in a pretty good spot here. So we snipe out an infantry. Yeah, gotta do it. So we are going for it, folks. We are taking that engagement, and let's see if it pays off. Oh, it doesn't pay off, but we can actually finish that the KO with an infantry. Or that 3 HP tank. That's, like, even easier. Oh, and we go up with another tank and take the engagement. So he does actually do the thing that I thought he was going to do, you know? He goes down, and he just obliterates this front. You know, he takes out 2 tanks, and Pdawg's units are split. But now, also, Darthnoob's units are split. So, sort of a double-edged sword, you know? We took out some units, but what's the counterattack going to look like? That's the real question. That is the real question. Another battlecopter buy from Darthnoob as well. So let's see what happens here. So we send the tank over to stop the comm tower capture. We destroy the comm tower capture. Then we go for the comm tower capture. We are potentially going to be seeing the legendary 3 tower Andy in this match, folks. 3 tower Andy. Oh my god, that is a good time, folks. 3 tower Andy. Oh boy, that's what dreams are made of, folks. All right, let's see what he manages to do here. Doing the smart thing, clearing off units, you know. Very good. Once we get close to hyper upgrade, you know, every single injured unit, you just have to assume that they're going to be 5 HP higher than they actually are. So, very important to clear off as many units as you possibly can. Both players are very dangerously close to this hyper upgrade as well. Let me see exactly. So we need 20. That would be like 4, 40, 14, 18,000, 17,500 charge, something like that. You could potentially get that with like multiple tank strikes, but I think on average about every single tank strike averages out to maybe about like 4K if you're the attacker. So you would have to get a lot of tank strikes in order to get that. Now, I mean, we could, in theory, go and sacrifice our battlecopter. Then that would give us 1 bar of charge, and then we could like go to town over here and take out quite a bit. Like, we could take a bunch of first strikes. But this guy's not in position. This guy is in position to hit 1. If we go and do something crazy and reckless like that, it's not going to be enough to really win this front. So, holding on to the power and waiting for a better opportunity is definitely the way to be going for this one here. Great placement of the tank, blocking the copter from anti-air damage there. So, wonderful, wonderful placement. And we are going to go down, strike an infantry, blocking that tank, get some heals on our 2 tanks. And choo, that is a nice little line of attack over there. Very close to HQ range. So that could be pretty bad. That could be pretty bad indeed. Let's see how Pdawg plays this turn, because I think this is going to be very, very important for the overall success of this game. Let's see what he manages to do here. So it brings a few units down south. Okay, we're positioning ourselves like just kind of sort of just out of the way. Yeah, I think this is a fairly okay setup for sure. So if Darthnoob decides to, ooh, you know what? He could start the cap, surround his units, and then he could hyper upgrade. Let's just do a little test here. So let's say, what are we gonna do? Let's say we have a Pdawg tank. Boom. Pdawg tank, 3 tower tank. Let's say we are attacking an infantry on an HQ. How much damage are we gonna do? Ooh, 58 to 63. So there is a small possibility. What if he uses a power? 63 to 68. Okay. So the only way that an HQ cap would be able to go through is if that infantry does not get hit at all. If it gets hit by a tank, it's kind of cooked. If it gets hit by an anti-air, definitely cooked. Let's take one more look here. What happens if it's just an infantry attacking? So just an infantry. If he uses the super, it would be 49 to 54. So if only an infantry can get through, that would not be possible. It would not be possible to stop it. Doing kind of a... Okay, yeah, we got the double attack on the tank down there. We got hyper upgrade though, folks, so... Ooh, and we pop it. We pop the hyper upgrade here, folks. Ooh, are we gonna be going all in? We might be going all in. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh, would you just look at this? Somebody's going all in, folks. Somebody's going all in over here. This is pretty cool. Alright, he surrounds that HQ. Not many other attacks that he could do, though. So this is a pretty good HQ surround. You know, we have the vast majority of our army over here just surrounding it. Is it enough, though? Is it enough? I don't know. We have a tank in range. You know what? We're gonna play out the turn. No more time for speculation here, folks. Pdawg is behind by 7 units. This HQ cap is imminent. Let's see if he can break the walls and take down the Darthnoob7. Let's check it out. We're gonna try to take down the Death Star here today, folks. Alright, so we snipe out an infantry and we go in for an attack with a tank. Boom. Now, is this tank's maximum movement that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Okay, so that's max movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I probably would have attacked with this tank just because this tank could get an extra attack over here, but kind of minor, you know. I don't know. If I was playing this, I probably would have just done something stupid and failed. So, I mean, I can't really say much when it comes to you know, people's plays, but I like to speculate. I like to see what could happen. But that was a beautiful break over here by Pdawg. That's gonna allow a hit. We're gonna get a tank strike, and that should take it down to 4 if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, takes it down to 5. Oh, you know what? He takes it down to 5 because of the super co-power defense. So 150% defense right there on that guy. So it only takes it down to 5. And Darthnoob has no charge. No charge at all. No charge at all. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one. So we brought the vast majority of our army forward here. But we're doing tons of damage right here. Like, we just did a whole heck of a lot of damage to his units as well. I think really the only chance that Darthnoob would have in order to win this at the moment would be to full yeet everything. Just full yeet everything and hope that you can get that HQ cap. I think that's what we're doing, folks. We're going to see. Does he have enough value? Hold on. So his super would cost 64,000. He's got 77,000 value. I don't know. We can eat the copter though too, so that's pretty good. Taking the worst engagement she can possibly take here, so that's absolutely wonderful. Oh, he's managed to get an entire bar of charge. But that's it. We got nothing else. We got nothing else, unfortunately, folks. We were unable to stop. Or we were unable to charge the super co-power in order to guarantee that HQ cap. So that is very unfortunate for Darthnoob. Thought he played very well, though, all things considered. But, you know, Pdawg, his attack here was just massive. Massive attack. So congratulations to Pdawg. I think maybe So if we're gonna play in the realm of speculation here, let's see what we got. So I think if he full charges his power, and then we form the wall, like I think we can do pretty much all the exact same moves, like more or less. This guy wouldn't be full HP though. But think about if we had popped a hyper repair. So these guys would be at, like, they would get 2 HP. They wouldn't get the movement bonus. But we could still form a line. And then next turn, the exact same amount of damage would happen to this guy, more or less. But we would just be half a bar closer to the hyper upgrade, right? Or the hyper upgrade. And then if we look here, so we would have about 27,000 charge. So if we had 27,000 charge plus 38,500, that would be 38, 58, 8 plus 7 is 15. So he would have 65,000 charge, more or less. You know what? It could have been possible, folks, but we will never know. We will never know, folks. Maybe it was possible, maybe it wasn't. But either way, what a match between these two guys. If you guys enjoyed the match today, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.